Hi, very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Sri Lankan Airlines webinar for the Indian market. We're just waiting for a couple of more people to join us for this webinar, for the attendees. So we will be starting in exactly 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you for your patience. Thank you once again. We will be starting in exactly a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience. Once again, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking the time off to attend this webinar with us. This is the first part of the Sri Lankan Airlines webinar series that we planned this month. Today, this webinar will be conducted on the topic of the way forward, Sri Lankan Airlines in the Indian market. We have a few really very esteemed speakers today, but before I introduce everyone, just a couple of housekeeping notes. Please note that all the attendees are on mute mode and the webcam is turned off by default. If by any technical glitch, your webcam is turned on, please turn off the same immediately and log out of the system and simply restart your browser. Those of you who are attending this webinar using their mobile phones, please use the same in landscape mode for a better viewing experience. If you experience any issue like mixing of audio or lag, please check your internet connection once and just refresh the browser. Most problems get resolved by simply refreshing your page or your browser. If the issue still persists, try logging out of the system and just restarting your browser. If you are experiencing low internet speed when any video is played, you might get a pop-up saying click for audio. Simply click on that button and everything will go back to normal. In any case, if you have any queries during this presentation, please type your queries in the Q&A tab, which has opened up on the top right corner of the screen inside the webinar's control panel. This control panel can be minimized or maximized for the best viewing experience. We will answer as many questions as possible in the Q&A tab, and also during the Q&A session after the presentation is over, the speakers will be happy to take all your questions. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce today Ms. Komal Seth, who's the founder and director of LINKIN REPS Private Limited. They're the official PR representative of Sri Lankan Airlines in India. Komal, I'd like to hand over the floor or the screen, whichever way you'd like to you to take this forward. Thank you.
Komal, we can't hear you. No, we didn't hear a single word. No, no. We can see your mic is on, but we can't hear anything. Now it's off, but I don't know whether ask other people can hear you, but I can't hear you.
No, we can't hear her at
No.
all. Komal, can you please refresh your browser and just switch on your mic again? Thank you.
Hello.
Now we can hear you. Yes.
Sorry for this technical glitch. Thank you, Sheldon. Thank you for the introduction and thank you for activating this training program. Thank you, participants, for taking out time for the program. It will be really helpful for you. And in no time, Sri Lanka will start selling soon again. Right now, of course, because of technical and medical reasons, the country is on hold. Without much time, I would like to introduce Mr. V. Ravindran, who's the regional manager, Sri Lankan Airlines India, and is stationed in New Delhi. Mr. Ravindran heads the overall sales, marketing, and administration functions for the airlines operation in India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. And he's been stationed in New Delhi for over 2 years now. And also, along with Mr. Ravindran, we'll be joined by the manager, Western India, Sri Lankan Airlines, Mr. Ruwan Wijekoon. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Ruwan, for initiating this training program and giving us the ability to activate this program to know Sri Lanka and know about Sri Lankan Airlines. Over to you, Ravi, if you could address the audience and take this program forward today. Thank you.
Thank you, Komal. Uh, and very good evening to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we warmly welcome for this webinar or so-called training or presentation, whatever is it. And thank you very much for your time and your interest shown in Sri Lankan Airlines. Before I start the presentation, just to tell you, when we planned and when we started this entire process of presenting this, now the scenarios would have been changed, and also there were certain facts may not be very relevant, but please bear with us. But you can raise your questions, we can answer appropriately. Okay, so we'll straight away dive into the presentations. Right. So most of you all might know, and just to say that, the airline is launched in 1979, and we are the national carrier of Sri Lanka, and our shareholder is Sri Lankan government, and we are a limited liability company fully owned by the government, basically. So we are, you can say we are a government organization, but at the same time we are a commercial perspective, not like any ministry or a department or any other government organization operates, because we are a fully commercial oriented organizations. And so our operation is mainly on the Bandar Naik International Airport, and we are fortunate to have another airport in Mattala, another district, which is called Hambantota. And we are having our about we operate into 55 countries, but though it's 55 countries, certain countries we operate more than one destination. So our network is at the moment 112. And also Sri Lankan Airlines have it's a corporate social responsibility arm, so which we will touch during our presentations briefly. And as any organization, Sri Lankan also have our mission. So our mission is to just to delight our customer with reliable and a pleasant travel. And that could be done definitely with our unmatchable hospitality from our service delivery perspective. And we have a team that very diligent and proactive and very experienced. And I would say with our partners that we are an airline, we are striving hard to just to in this aviation industry. And also our vision to be our most customer centric airline. So that's our ultimate goal. As any other organization, that's our mission and vision. So as I told initially that we have 55 countries we are operating, though that our destination size almost double of that. So it's 112 destinations in our network, including our code shares. So we have, or I would say that our operation has been could be categorized in terms of the destination that we are operating in the network or in the on the globe. So we have Far East destinations, and we have Middle East, and we have South Asia, and also there are certain India is also is one of our main destinations, rather the destinations or the country that we are operating. So you can see that in Far East that we operated to Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Bangkok, and Beijing, Shanghai, Canton, overall China, and Japan, Tokyo, and Hong Kong, Jakarta, and we recently added Korea, that is we operating to Seoul. So in the Middle East, okay, and UAE, that is Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and Doha, Qatar, and in Saudi Arabia we are operating to Dammam, Riyadh, and Jeddah, and Kuwait, Bahrain, and Muscat. And in South Asia, you can see that Maldives is one of our key destination, and also it's our next home base, and Gan Island, Dhaka, okay, so Pakistan, and the recently added destination Kathmandu. And I can see the Europe, I think on the other slide you can see that in Europe that we are having London at the moment, and also Frankfurt, Paris, Moscow, all are just became online very recently. So you can say these are brand new destination in Europe. And Australasia, yes, we have been operating to Melbourne for a significant time, and Sydney also added recently, so it became 2 in Australia. And East Africa, you can say that we were operating to Seychelles, and also Nairo became very recently as an online. Okay, so those are the our international destinations operated by Sri Lankan Airlines, okay, and from our hub of Colombo. So what is relevant and more specific to India, that we are operating to 9 destinations in India, in some places more than daily flights. And we used to operate 11 destinations in India, but unfortunately due to this COVID, and with the global the challenges that we have to temporarily put a hold to Kolkata and Coimbatore. But nevertheless that we came very strongly to certain places in South India, like Chennai, and Trichy, Madurai, and Kerala also we became again 7, and Trivandrum 5 flights. And Mumbai we are operating 9 flights at the moment, Delhi 5 flights, then Hyderabad and Bangalore 4 flights respectively. Well, I know that's North India per se, but when you say North India, it's not only confined to Delhi, but we take even Western India also is a part of North, because we don't segregate India is like 4 pieces, like North, south, east, and west, but we'll say north and south in general. So these are the the number of flights that we are operating out of each points. So from this point, I'm just handing over to my colleague Ruwan. So Ruwan will take you through the presentation, and wherever that you need any questions or anything that that I have to add, I will just chip in. Okay, over to you, Ruwan, and thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ruwan Wijekoon. I'm from SriLankan Airlines Western India region. To continue with the presentation, I would like to I will switch off my camera temporarily so that the area will be bigger for you to look. So, so when it comes to our network, as Ravi mentioned, we are operating 9 cities in India from, and North India, of course, we want to highlight in this presentation specifically because we have major leisure traffic from North India and Western India. So from Delhi, we operate 5 flights per week. Different timings we have introduced because we wanted to make sure leisure travelers from India have flexibility in selecting their timing when departing from Delhi and when they are coming back from Sri Lanka after the checkout. Likewise, so we have different timings as mentioned in this slide. So we have day 1, 2, 3, 5, and day 7 operations with different timings as mentioned in the screen. When you take Western India, which is Bombay, we have 9 flights per week, and we have 2 different timings operating our schedule from Bombay. That is, we have day 1 to 4 and evening departure, 2100 hours in the night. And day 5 and 7, we have morning departures at around 10:55 morning. And day 3 and 6, we have double daily operations. So we have evening and morning departures both. So this schedule we have introduced to cater to the leisure traffic specifically during this pandemic period. People who are visiting Sri Lanka can have make use of the our convenient schedule for their leisure travel. Moving on, our future plan, I think Ravi will emphasize this, how we are going to plan our future in another couple of months. Ravi?
Okay, Ruwan, can I chip in on this?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay. So as Ruwan said, the future plans are is to be very precise that these are the number of flights we used to operate before COVID or pre-COVID. We had 4 flights a day out of Chennai, and Delhi we had 3 flights a day, and Mumbai we have 2 flights a day, and Bangalore again 2 flights a day, which is double daily, and Trivandrum it's daily. And Cochin daily. So wherever that we operate, we had daily flights, except very selected places like Hyderabad and Kolkata and Coimbatore, that we had less than daily flights. But our first objective want to bring our level, I mean the operating or the operational level to the pre-COVID status. So we want to gradually we have to increase our flights to our pre-COVID level. So you can see it from that say Chennai, now we are operating 13 flights during COVID level or even now. So we wanted to bring it up to that level. Then Delhi, we wanted to go to the triple daily, Mumbai double daily, Bangalore double daily, and so on and so forth. So this is all subject to our aircraft, and also obviously the situation at the moment, and also the uncertainties. At the moment is prevailing, it's not predicted by even the experts also. So our what do you say, our first objective or our first strategy. Just we wanted to go to our pre-COVID level and then move on. And nevertheless, there were some new destinations also in the pipeline, like that, before COVID, that we had our business plan to operate to Ahmedabad and Calicut also. So based on the market situations and also our aircraft availability and the requirement, we will even to operate to those places also. Right. So Ruwan, over to you.
Thank you, Ravi. So let's move to our next slide, which is our fleet. As you all know, Sri Lankan is medium-sized airline. We have wide bodies and narrow bodies, all Airbus operation, and we have currently 12 wide bodies and 12 narrow body operation. And I will move to the next slide for you all to discuss about what are the travel requirements to when passengers are traveling to Sri Lanka specifically. As you all know, leisure travelers should have a hotel confirmation and negative RT-PCR report done within 72 hours of departure. And visa, we have the facility of you can take the visa online. And we have on-arrival visa also in Sri Lanka, but we always recommend all passengers to have their visas ready before they depart from India. And they can get the visas done from eta.gov.lk website, and it's very easy process. You must have, being our business partners, you must be knowing how easy it is. And of course, another new requirement which has been there previously also, but health declaration forms which has to be filled online now, which is mandatory. All our airports will check for this requirement when passengers are arriving for checking. We'll be checking this health declaration QR code is there with them, and we insist them to make sure it is available before departure. And child travel guidelines, of course, as you all know, Sri Lanka is open for vaccinated and non-vaccinated both travelers. But if we are fully vaccinated, we have very easy process there. And because of the children who have not vaccinated below 12 years of age, we will not require a PCR test upon arrival in Sri Lanka if they are traveling with their vaccinated adults, parents. But children between 12 to 18 years, of course, we need to have a PCR report done in Sri Lanka. We have that facility upon arrival at the airport, Colombo Airport. Passengers will be given free transportation to the nearest facility for the PCR test, and you have to get the PCR done. When the results are out, passengers can go ahead with their itinerary. So that is for the child traveling with the parents who are vaccinated between 12 to 18 years. And also there's another mandatory thing which is imposed by the Sri Lankan government, which is the requirement to have $12 COVID insurance cover before departure for all travelers, which is recommended highly due to the current pandemic, the Omicron variant happening everywhere in the world. So this is new, effective 1st of January. This has become mandatory. So if you can inform all your passengers and make sure these passengers are taking $12, which is very minimal charge, $12 the COVID insurance cover, which it will cover up to $50,000 worth of insurance coverage in Sri Lanka due to the pandemic. And we would like to highlight little initiatives we have taken in the Colombo Airport for the arrivals, departures, as well as in the onboard hygiene measures we have taken as SriLankan Airlines. So next few slides, I will be concentrating on those. And if you take arrivals to Sri Lanka, apart from the measures we have taken in each individual airports in India before departure, upon arrival in Sri Lanka, we have, to ensure the safety and security of all our passengers. We have separated the transit passengers for a dedicated area, and we are making sure all passengers are keeping a physical distance as per the COVID norms. And if you take the departures out of Sri Lanka, face masks is so obvious, as well as in any part of the world. It is very mandatory in Sri Lanka. And disinfectants, which is been usually frequently happening in Colombo Airport, temperature checks, baggage screening, and thermal testing. All these are in place in Sri Lankan airport when they are departing. And further to these, you must have seen in Indian airports, we have protective screens at the check-in counters. Similarly, when you depart from Sri Lanka, also we have put protective screens to ensure the safety and security of the passengers as well as the staff. And the preventive cleaning process is happening very frequently to make sure all the surfaces are hygiene, and the hand sanitizers are also installed everywhere to make sure the safety and security of the passengers. And as I mentioned before, also we have this physical distancing, markings, marked in the benches in the airport, and baggage drop facility has been enhanced to make sure limited, contact. And self-checking kiosks have been installed, as well as the hygiene and safety measures displayed in the airport for the knowledge of the passengers. And lounge, of course, similar to the other areas, lounge also we are making sure all the facilities are being clean and hygiene. And
Ruwan, so maybe that it will be some of the measures that we have taken would have been improved further, because as I told you, for the last few days, things are changed rapidly in India. So then we have even taken certain steps even to just to in compliance with the government authorities or the regulatory authorities. So with that, we just to, since that we are touching on this lounge facility also, we have a very very short brand video that we can play over here, so the people can just see it before that you're refreshing to go on to the other slides. Okay, Komal and Parul, can we play that brand video for the at this point of time? Ruwan?
Yeah, I think they will play it. Yeah.
Okay.
Ayubowan world. Warmth is a word we live by.
Every day we greet you with a blessing of a long life.
Calling to you as neighbors.
Come cherish a land as
Bold in its attitude as you.
To a place that mirrors the incredible diversity of where you're from. Contained within just 25,000 square miles.
Experience Sri Lanka first on board SriLankan Airlines.
Where you're truly our world.
Yeah, I think when I just see this lounge facility, I think Jacqueline just entered to the lounge at the last the second of the clip. So Ruwan, that you can move on with the.
Thank you very much, Ravi. So when it comes to onboard hygiene, this is one of the most people who are very much inquisitive to know how we make sure our safety and security on board. So these are the measures we have taken to make sure all our passengers have protected during their travel with SriLankan Airlines. So we, of course, we are sanitizing our the cabin, and specifically when it is arriving in Indian airports as well as in Colombo. Before we board any passengers, the sanitization is happening. And all our cabin crew is wearing PPE kits to make sure the safety and security of the passengers as well as the cabin crew. And one of the new initiatives which we have done after the COVID pandemic is fixing of HEPA filters, which makes sure the air circulation is 99.9% virus and germs free. And this is one initiative which has make sure our cabins are safe. And passengers are, when the boarding process is happening, we make sure the passengers board in batches, and we always say make sure the passengers should wear face masks. And to educate passengers, we make sure in all many languages to announce the what are the requirements and protocols inside the cabin to make sure you stay safe, and make sure others are also make sure other passengers hygiene as well. And moving to the next slide, which is very important. Now I have mentioned what we have, the things we have done, the initiatives we have done to make sure our passengers have all this health and safety. We have received the Diamond Safety Award from the Apex body, which is Sri Lankan became one of the 18 airlines to have this Diamond Safety Award received recently, which it's a safety audit which checks 58 touch points, and I'm really happy to announce that Sri Lankan is one of the 18 airlines who has received these highest safety standards. And also you must have Sri Lankan Airlines. When it comes to our onboard meals, you must have already experienced our meals. So we would like to, educate you all about how Sri Lankan Airlines is catering their meals. So we have our own catering company called Sri Lankan Catering. So we are responsible for all airlines operated to Bandaranaike International Airport to supply all the catering needs. So we 70.6 million meals yearly we supply. So 37,000 flights. Airlines are about 22. It has become more than that now. And we have 1,000 employees, running the catering, manning the catering function in Sri Lanka. So these are the areas which we our catering products are being offered. Sri Lankan airline catering and the private jets and VIP aircraft, we supply catering in Sri Lanka. Transit hotel, and we have our own restaurant called Vanilla Pod in Sri Lanka, Colombo Airport. And airport F&B, lounge operations and laundry facilities we are facilitating through the Sri Lankan Airlines catering arm. And also I must say, during this pandemic, we are catering only from our Sri Lankan Airlines catering arm, because to ensure the safety and hygiene of our passengers during the COVID-19 pandemic. So all the meals served in in India, coming into India and out of India, we cater from Sri Lankan Airlines catering service. And these are the accolades that we have won by the Sri Lankan Airlines catering. This is one of the we are sorry. Sri Lankan has won these accolades, which has become, it's a testimony for our service, our quality of meals served to the airlines, and that's why Sri Lankan meals on board which you are experiencing is rated very high. And that's it basically about Sri Lankan Airlines catering. And we can, Ravi, now we can have come to the end of the presentation so that we can move forward with the Q&A session.
Thank you, Rohan.
Thank you, Ruwan. Yeah, thank you, Ruwan. And yeah, Komal, I'll just leave it to you. Yeah.
Thank you, Rohan. Thank you, Ravi. That was a very informative presentation. I think we have a couple of questions that we've got from the attendees. Parul, if due to a technical glitch, I'm not able to see all the questions. Parul, if you could read out the questions and we could take it up, and um, Ravi, if you could answer the important ones. There are a couple of repeated questions as well.
Sure, Komal. Yes, you can. They can post. Yeah.
Sure, just a moment.
Ravi, also, before the questions go on, there is a one very popular and important question that we always get from travel agents as well as media regarding travel to Sri Lanka with kids under the age of 12. If there is a family which has a kid which is under the age of 12, then can they travel to Sri Lanka? And if they can, what is the procedure at the airport?
Well, when they can travel, but they have to just to do a PCR on arrival, and they can just go after that, unless otherwise they are fully vaccinated. So that's the status quo at the moment. So they can go, but in less than 12, no need. But I think above 12, they just have to just do the I think PCR facilities are installed in the airport, so they can get the results very quickly and they can go. Ruwan, is there any changes to that protocol?
No, it remains the same at the moment. They are giving free transportation to go to that facility, and from there they can move on after the results out.
Yes. Okay. Did I answer that question? Your question, Komal?
Yes, Ravi, thank you. Okay. Parul, if we can take up the next questions, please.
Sure, just a moment. So we have a question which is COVID insurance from Sri Lanka mandatory even if we have bought it from India?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It is mandatory, and it is updated in the Hello Again Sri Lanka Hello Again website, which is usually before any passengers traveling to Sri Lanka, we are recommending them to go through the Hello Again website, which we will give the link through the Q&A forum, so that passengers who are traveling to Sri Lanka would recommend that to go to this Hello Again website and check what are the requirements. So it is already updated in the Hello Again website.
Okay.
Thank you, Rohan.
Thank you.
The next question is, due to the current scenario, can we book the travel for April or May 2022?
Yes.
Ravi, you are muted, I think.
Am I audible?
There's a now it's audible. Now there was a disturbance, okay, I couldn't concentrate on. Repeat
okay,
the
question is, due to the current scenario, can we book for travel in April or May 2022?
Absolutely, yes. But also they should be mindful of that. Sometimes these regulatory authorities will come with certain requirements or certain pre conditions before they travel. So subject to that they can change. So therefore, booking for April, May, absolutely no issues. But keep in mind, it might change, or they might have to be flexible in case if there's a requirement to just to say, for example, say they have planned something, but say that day that we have to just to do some extra test or whatever. I'm just telling an example. So that they have to be mindful of that, and they should do it accordingly. But as we can't accurately forecast what will happen, but as at now, with the given current status quo, the answer is yes.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, any special deals for students for Australia sector for more baggage allowance?
What is your question? It is to Australia or that is students? What
The
is the
question is any special deals for students for Australia sector for more baggage allowance?
No, now for the time being that we will put it on. I mean, we'll park that question. The reason is that we can't have under the current air bubble agreement passengers beyond Colombo. So therefore that question is not so appropriate this time. So we'll park that question.
Okay, thank you. The next question is what are the protocols to travel to UK or Australia via Colombo?
That's certain. I think I answered I mean, the previous question. Beyond that, for the travel requirement has to be parked at the moment because we can't see because of the uncertainty and also because of the current air bubble restrictions that we can't carry passengers beyond.
Okay. The next one is if vaccinated with both doses, is it mandatory to get the RT-PCR prior departure from India?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think a lot of questions are repeated ones. We have another question which says, booking for a film shooting, can we get discount on luggage allowance? Can we do film shooting inside the airlines?
Can you cascade? There are so many questions. If you ask one question by question, I can answer. Otherwise, it will.
So they are saying that they are booking for a film shooting. If they can get a discount on the luggage allowance, or can they shoot inside the airlines?
No.
No, that's what is now. There are three questions in that. One statement. Tell what is the
The
first
first
question?
question is
Then
can they
I'll.
get discount on luggage allowance?
It now if you buy in advance, that that is a discounted baggage rates, so they can buy in the block of 5 and 10 and 15. Right, Ruwan? That's how we facilitate. No pre-baggage. Okay, so there's a discount
We do
in
have.
that scenario, but not for specific purpose like film shooting or student that we don't have any special discount. Okay, right. What is your
The
second
second
question?
part of the question is can we do film shooting inside the airlines?
Inside the
Yes,
aircraft or airline? What do you
inside
mean by
the
airline?
aircraft.
That is it is I would say yes and no, but in generally because this need to go through a lot of what do you call requirements and lot of prior approvals from government authorities and even our Sri Lankan Airlines because mainly because of its safety and security reasons. So, in general, it is not easy as they think. So, my recommendation and suggestion at this moment of time, we avoid that simply because of the safety and the rather the security reasons.
Okay. Somebody is also asking about holiday packages with Sri Lankan Airlines for groups. Somebody is
Come again?
asking about the holiday packages with Sri Lankan Airlines for groups from India.
Yeah, we holiday now say for we have a holiday arm that is Sri Lankan holidays. It's a franchise operation. So if they just approaches them, they will get a competitive would say the rates, but we can't say a discount because we have to just to depend on the third party suppliers. So if they give discounts when we just refer to them, we can pass it to them. But as a standard policy or a business perspective that we can't say that we give discount on packages, but it is not. It all depends on the status at the time of request.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I think those are all the questions.
Yeah. But I think there was some. I will see that the questions on the chat box because of technical reasons. Is it?
Sir, we'll
Parul?
have to open up the dialog box for seeing all the questions. There's an
Okay.
arrow
Fine.
at the end, at the, I think, top of
Or anybody, that's anybody, any other questions? Or
I think those were all the questions. A lot of questions were repeated also.
okay. So to just to give some more what you call additional perspective, because Sri Lanka is Sri Lankan Airlines is considering India is a very important market, and for that matter, India is very very crucial what you call proposition for Sri Lanka, not only just because of the the, the location or where it has been situated, but this is our extended what you call our home, because we're operating almost 9 destinations and more flights, and also for Indian travelers, Sri Lanka is just about maximum about 3.5 hours away from our paradise. So it's a value for money, and a lot of things that as Indian states. No, I'm not telling India, because India is huge, and it is very what do you call very creative, and India can offer from it's incredible India, if you rightly say. But at the same time, when you just take Sri Lanka, it's being a small country, and it could offer all in one, in a very close proximity. But if you take in India, that there are what do you call difficulty, because of the states formed, in it's huge. So they might, every state will not get everything. For example, if you take that Uttar Pradesh will not have a beach, okay. So but if you go to Western India, Bombay can have a beach, or if you go to West Bengal, they can have a beach, okay. So but if you go to Sri Lanka, you can have a beach within about 1 hour drive, and you can go to a hill country within about 4-5 hours drive. So that's what I meant. So it is a full package, and we can versatile experience that you can get it. So the variety of experience can be offered within a very short span of time, with a reasonable rather cost. And but would I say that it is very easy to you all to just to acclimatize. The climate is it's cool, and maybe I'm biased because I'm a Sri Lankan, and I'm promoting Sri Lanka and Sri Lanka. But you can just hear from the people who have really experienced, so they can be vouched for it. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So there's another question that we have. Are there any changes in the cancellation policies?
No, there were a lot of what would I say, liberty, or we made a lot of restrictions. We took off a lot of restrictions from the cancellation policy. So at the moment, our cancellation policy is it's more liberal, I would say. So in that perspective, there were changes to the previous policies. But at the moment that we didn't make any changes. So if at all, we will do it in the betterment of the passengers, because of this COVID situation, and these uncertainties in terms of traveling.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Rohan. I think
Thanks.
this is an end of the questions that we had in the dialogue box. I think everyone present here, if you have any more questions, we will share our email IDs and our contacts, so that if there are any query or questions, or your selling techniques for Sri Lanka, please do get in touch with us. Thank you, Ajay and Sheldon, for having this activated and organizing a program with a closed group. We'll be happy to answer all the questions even later.
Parul, just a quick
Thank you note from your end.
yeah. What is can we have the number of the participants? I can't see it. Just for
Yes, sir. Sure. We'll send you all the details later. Once the webinar is over, we'll send you the report for the same.
Fine. Okay. Thanks.
Ravi, if you could do your thank you note, and we can end the seminar.
Okay. Right. Thanks, Komal. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, the participants, and also thank you, Sheldon, for facilitating this, and thank you, Komal and Parul and Ruwan, just spending time, and it's a really very encouraging for us also to have a interaction with the trade, a time of we really have to be in business, and also we have to survive. And though that at this moment of time the numbers are, the COVID numbers are at the surge, but I'm sure that this too shall pass and we will overcome. And as an airline that we have survived even tougher time than this, then therefore we will definitely will pass through this. And thank you very much, and thank you very much for the trade support for us to sail through for the last 2 years, and we are looking for a better future and the way forward. Thank you, and thank you everyone. Komal, over to you.
Thank you, Ravi. We'll end this session. Thank you, participants. We can switch off from our screens now. Thanks.
Thank you.